Good morning students. Today we shall study lesson 9. Topic of the lesson is the great stone face. So now first of all let's see the word meanings of this lesson. First one is immense, that means huge, something which is very big. Second one is enormous, which is the synonym of immense, so we can write the meaning very big. Next one is gigantic, it means immense. These three words can be used as synonyms: immense, enormous and gigantic. They all mean something which is very big. Fourth one is clustering, it means gathering. Fifth one is benign, it means kind and gentle. Sixth one is prediction, that means prophecy. That means to tell what will happen in future. Seventh one is pensive, it means thoughtful. Eighth one is beheld, it means saw. Ninth one is renowned, that means famous. 10th one is banquet, that means feast, means celebration. 11th one is proclaimed, it means announced. Now let's see the question answers. Question number 1 is, what was the great stone face? So there was a structure called great stone face in the lesson. What was it? Let's see. Answer will be, the great stone face was the work of nature. It resembled the features of a human face from a distance, which was formed on the side of mountain by huge rocks. So basically the great stone face was a structure that was formed on the mountain by nature. When someone sees this structure from a distance, it looks like the face of a human. Question number 2 is, what did young Ernest wish when he gazed at it? That means when he gazed at the great stone face. Answer will be, young Ernest wished that the great stone face could speak. He wanted to listen its voice because he hoped that this kindly face would indeed have a pleasant voice. So whenever Ernest see the great stone face, he wished that the great stone face could speak. Because he wanted to listen its voice, he thought if the face of the great stone face is so kind and gentle, then its voice indeed would be very pleasant. Question number 2 is, what was the story attributed to the stone face? So let's see. The answer, the story connected with the great stone face was that in future a child would born in the valley who would become the greatest and noblest person of his time. His face would resemble the stone face. So there was a story connected to the great stone face that in future a child would born in the valley who will be the greatest and noblest person of that time, and his face would resemble the great stone face. He will be like the great stone face. Question number 3 is, what gave the people of the valley the idea that the prophecy was about to come true for the first time? Answer will be, a rumor went throughout the valley that the great man who looked like the great stone face had appeared at last. So there was a rumor in the valley that a great man whose name was Mr. Gathergold had appeared in the valley and who looked like the great stone face, who resembled the great stone face. Question number 4 is in 2 parts. The first part is, did Ernest see in Gathergold the likeness of the stone face? So when Ernest saw Mr. Gathergold, did he see the likeness of the great stone face in him? Let's see the answer. No, Ernest was disappointed. He did not notice any likeness of the stone face in the man Mr. Gathergold. Second part of this question is, who did he confide in and how was he proved right? So answer will be, he confided in his own heart that Mr. Gathergold was not the right man he was waiting for. His heart told him to have patience and keep his hope alive that the noblest man of his time would come. So in his heart, Ernest thought that Mr. Gathergold was not the right man for whom they all were waiting, for whom Ernest was waiting. His heart was telling him to keep patience and to keep his hope alive that the noblest man of that time who would resemble the great stone face would come one day. Now let's see the book filling of this lesson. First one is, write true or false against each of the following statements. First one is, the great stone face stood near where Ernest and his mother lived. So it is false because it was situated at a distance. Second one is, one would clearly distinguish the features of the stone face only from a distance, which is true, because the features of the stone face can be seen only from the distance. When the spectator comes near to it, it would look like a group of rocks. Third one is, Ernest loved his mother and helped her in her work, which is true. Fourth one is, though not very rich, Gathergold was a skillful merchant. That is false, because Mr. Gathergold was a skillful merchant, but he was very rich also. That's why it is false. Fifth one is, Gathergold died in poverty and neglect, which is false, because when Gathergold died, he was very rich at that time, and everyone knows about him. Sixth one is, the great stone face seemed to suggest that Ernest should not fear the general, which is false, because the great stone face was telling Ernest that fear not, the noblest man would come. The great stone face was not telling that Ernest should not fear the general. Now let's see next exercise. Write the noun forms of the following words by adding ness or ity to them appropriately. So we have to form the noun forms of the given words by using ness and ity. First one is lofty, so it will become loftiness. Second, able, it will become ability. Third one, happy, it will become happiness. Fourth one is near, it will become nearest. Fifth one is noble, it will become nobility. Next, enormous, so it will be enormity. Pleasant, so it will be pleasantness. Next one is dense, so it will be density. And the next one is great, it will be greatness. Stable, it will be stability. Now see next exercise. Add ly to each of the following adjectives. Use them to fill the blanks. So first of all, some adjectives are given here. We have to use ly to them, and then we have to fill them in the blanks. First one is, why didn't you turn up at the meeting? We all were dash waiting for you. So the correct word will be eager. We all were eagerly waiting for you. Second one is, dash write your name and address in capital letter. So it will be kind, and when we will add ly to it, it will become kindly. Kindly write your name and address in capital letters. Third one is, I was dash surprised to see him at the railway station. I thought he was not coming. So it will be pleasant, and when we will add ly to it, it will be, I was pleasantly surprised to see him at the railway station. I thought he was not coming. Next one is, it is dash believable that I am not responsible for this mess. And correct word will be perfect. So when we will add ly, it will become, it is perfectly believable that I am not responsible for this mess. Last one is, he fell over the step and dash broke his arm. So it will be nearly, and nearly broke his arm. Exercise 3 is given. Complete each sentence below using the appropriate forms of the verbs in brackets. So first one is, we have to use the correct form of these verbs. So that means sometimes we have to use the auxiliary verbs with it also. So the first one is, I shall phone you when I get home from school. Second one will be, hurry up madam, will be annoyed if we are late. Third one is, if it rains today we shall not go to play. Next one is, when you see Mandal again, you will not recognize him. He is growing a beard. And next one is, we are off today, we should write to you after we are back. So here we have filled the correct forms and we have completed the sentences. So this was your lesson 9. I hope everything is clear to all.